What's going on, guys? It's Steve, and in spite of some recent news, I got thinking and kind of wanted to share and hopefully discuss with you guys what you guys think are some positive and negatives of games going episodic. It's a trend, made famous by Telltale. I'm sure other game companies did it before. Made famous by Telltale, being adapted by bigger companies, mainly right now, Square Enix. I mean, taking Hitman, a game that was for a full launch game, like their previous titles, collector's edition, release date, was delayed and then brought up being split into episodic parts, which struck me as weird, but I'm sure something's going on behind the scenes where they said, this part of the game is ready, we can launch this as a package, the rest of we need more time. So, I mean, that's a positive right there. When you have a good amount of the game done, you don't have to be held back by other restrictions, other issues you may have. In other sense, it sucks though, because you don't get to experience that full package if you want to that way. I'm a person who loves going on Netflix and getting that full season. Like, when Daredevil comes out, you get that full package, experience it one weekend. Not everybody likes to watch their shows that way, but it's nice to have that option, especially in a game when you're, spending the money, you're buying the season pass, $25, $30 full package of a Telltale game, let's say. You have to wait sporadically for them, or you wait till all the episodes are out and experience that way. So again, a positive, you get to experience as soon as the parts are ready. The negative, you do get these giant cliffhangers, and that's kind of whiny as a consumer. But again, you get to these huge gaps, especially in Telltale's instances. You don't really know when it's coming out. It's never a schedule. Not like Resident Evil Revelations 2, I believe, where there was a set schedule where every 2 weeks they dropped an episode. That I can get down with, giving us an exact, timeline, also close together. Telltale's been known to have just, weeks in between it, and then 2 weeks before they're like, alright, it's coming out. And though I may not know the technical aspect, it looks like it's, as soon as it's ready, they push it in to get approved, and then as soon as that gets approved, gets the stamps, they set it out. It's messy that way. I hate having to wait so long between episodes like that. That's like if a show went on, a 4-6 month break in between seasons. You wouldn't want to enjoy it that way. You'd probably lose interest. And that happens a lot with these episodic games. I buy episodes and then I just end up not finishing them because something else comes along. A full package, a full story comes along. Again, that one's kind of me whining, me ranting, but it's just how I feel about it. The next part is that sometimes these games don't mesh together well when they're broken up. When they're not being developed as a package whole, each episode is treated differently. And I experienced that a lot through The Wolf Among Us. I got it as a gift, and episode 1, very detective-y, old school kind of feel, I was okay with. Episode 2, when you get all the fairy tale stuff, it blows my mind. Episode 3 kind of dropped it back a little bit, in my opinion. And looking at the whole package, just the episodes didn't fit well. Like, it didn't feel, when you play that from beginning to end, story-wise, yeah, it's congruent, it's steady. But as a gaming experience, it's weird to constantly have one episode just walk around the cities, and then the next episode just talk. Imagine if a game like The Witcher was broken up into episodic. It would be like 120 episodes, but imagine if, half the episodes was just spent riding your horse around, or playing Gwent, or just running around slashing in dungeons for just one episode. The game has to develop as a whole, and I know Telltale's pretty good at making their games feel the same, feel like one package. But again, other games don't feel that way to me. I feel like Hitman's going to be one of those where it's just, missions are going to be the same, but you're in this part of the world, you're in this part. Now, I don't know too much about Hitman, so no offense to those Hitman people who are down with it. But it's just weird. I feel like the games aren't going to sometimes gel as well as they are. The biggest worry of that is that Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, I'm not here to debate Final Fantasy VII Remake because that's a whole video on its own. But they're going to be treating each episode as its own game, comparing what they did to the Final Fantasy 13 series, which, mixed reviews. I don't want the same to happen to Final Fantasy VII. Like, this is a IP people really care about, where I feel like the community cares about it way more than people expected it to. So to develop each episode, which according to rumors, it's each disc is going to be, each episode. So, Final Fantasy VII, which launched years ago as a full package, is now going to be split into a trilogy, which is ridiculous to me. And each trilogy is going to be treated as a full game, and I'm worried that means different gameplay. And so when you get that whole package, you're going to get messed up. Maybe episode 2 is just really bad, doesn't work, the mechanics doesn't work, the engine crashed, they got some bug. And episode 3 is fantastic. But people were burnt by episode 2, so why are they going to keep going? It's happened in shows when people just don't like where the series goes and they drop off. It's experienced that way, and I'm afraid it's going to start translating into games the more games take this episodic approach. Now, I hate to sound like a spoiled, brat that, no, I want my whole package, I want the full game, full launch. That's how I like to experience my stuff. Breaking episodic sometimes makes the project die. Afro Samurai, episode 1, whatever the sequel is called, that was released last year, this year, episode 1 was absolutely garbage. It was completely messy, the graphics were bad, the gameplay was bad, enough that the company ripped it down from the networks. You can't purchase it, and they canceled the whole project. Who knows, maybe episode 2 was up and running well. By what was episode 1, I don't think so. But let's say they, got their stuff together and episode 2 was coming out great. But because they shot themselves in the foot with episode 1 and we're able to go back and fix it, then we suffered and lost a whole game. Now, Afro Samurai wasn't a game that many people were asking for. At least I didn't hear much about it. I never even knew when it released. I only knew because of this nonsense that it was completely broken. Like, worse than Sonic 06 is what people were saying. Which is ridiculous, especially considering, what Sonic 06 was. So I'm very back and forth with this episodic format. Like, every plus is a minus to me. Like, everything positive about it hurts it. Especially when it comes to the price point. You want to buy a $30 season pass to get all of, the Batman series that's coming from Telltale. That's great. But maybe you can't afford to buy that, and so you have to pay $5. So just because of your situation, you have to pay an extra $5-10. Because maybe you can only afford getting that $5 per month, 2 months, whatever Telltale's schedule is. So, though it's cheaper in some ways because you're only paying $5 a pop, or $30, and you save $5, you save $3, whatever the situation is. Though it may be cheaper for some people, it may come out being more expensive. And it hurts that way, especially when you want to support the developers and support these games you like, but you can't afford to, and that's fine. I understand everyone's situation is different, but when you're given too many options, you don't know which is for you, and that's where it kind of muddles. Like, I can't talk about it too directly because it's muddled, where it's like, sometimes it's nice to be able to pay for what you want, and sometimes it's nice to get the whole package, but maybe you can't buy the whole package, maybe you can't buy per episode, and you lose out on that experience. And for game developers, they want the most people they can to experience their game and love their game. Episodic is just a format that needs to be perfected. It's hard to translate into games. And again, Telltale's doing a pretty good job. Their engine being, what it is, but story rights, people are being respectful to that. Square Enix doing what they did with Life is Strange, anyway, publishing it, and what they're doing with Hitman was released, and reviewed pretty well. So there is a format to do it. Certain games just don't need to be episodic. Everything doesn't need to be episodic. Final Fantasy VII does not need to be episodic. It's just not how it's done. Imagine if they did a Halo game and just made it episodic. Halo games are what, 10, 15 missions long? You get 5 missions per pack. It's just, certain games don't translate. And I'm not saying a AAA game, I don't want to say a AAA game couldn't be episodic, but it wouldn't be seen as a full AAA game when it's not the whole package, when you're getting taste, when you're getting pieces and demos almost of a fuller experience. Uncharted, one of my, games I'm dying to play. But if they came out and Naughty Dog came out and said, well, it's going to be episodic, so you get the first 10 chapters, and later down the year you get the rest. It would be an outrage. So you got to be able to voice your opinion. That's why I kind of made this video. Kind of talk about why I'm back and forth with episodic games, and I want people to tell me why it's a good thing, why we should see more games doing this, or why we should see less games doing it. What do you guys think? I'm mixed up. I'm not sure which side to stand on, whether I want my games being a little bit cheaper, polished, and stuff like that. Because games are cheaper now than they've ever been. So do we really need to budget even more? Or is it good to get content as soon as it's ready? To, you know, Square Enix has that nice history of just taking forever for their games. Would it be nice to get their games, look, this part's done, here's it is. This part's done, here it is. I'm back and forth. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the episodic format? Do you wait for the whole package to come out? Because usually they release a nice collector's edition. Or do you not care? Do you just, you know, buy the episodes you want? Or do you avoid the episodic games in general? I mean, certain games just, to me, don't feel like they should. Let me know what you guys think. Which way do you sway? Do you like that episodic format? Do you like the complete package? Do you think there's a space for certain games to be episodic? Let me know in the comments, guys. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care.